Here's the thing about introducing structure in a team. It gets messy. Hypothetically, everyone wants it to be better, but that change element, that's where things get caught up, as we saw in the first 2 episodes of The Bear. Episode 3, Brigade. Honestly, after seeing this episode, this is how I knew that I had to do this series. It's probably one of the most relatable episodes when it comes to revamping an ERG program. Let's break it down. Continuing from episode 2, where we learned that consistency is a non-negotiable. Episode 3 shows us what happens when you try to implement that consistency through structure. In this episode, Carmi introduces the concept of a brigade, a structured chain of command that exists in professional kitchens. Think of this as a governance model for your ERG program, with clear roles, responsibilities, and expectations. But again, when you try to implement change, that's where the hard times start to come up, and that's what this episode is all about. Let's talk about how this plays out. Carmi tasks Sydney, our ERG Program Manager equivalent, with running the brigade. It's her job to take the chaos of the kitchen and turn it into this organized system. This mirrors the process of implementing governance structure, creating clear roles, setting expectations, and creating processes. Carmi frames the brigade as a way to harness the team's strengths. Even then, he tells Sydney about her plan that she sent in the last episode. He doesn't want to ruin the plan, but he just wants to organize the system a little bit more, understanding that everyone has a place. What he's really emphasizing, based on his past experience in successful kitchens, is that every person should have an ideal role, ideal place within the kitchen. And you should maximize each person's strengths with their roles. In the same way, an ERG program manager should create task-based roles that allow leaders to really lean into things that they are interested in, into things that highlight their strengths or allow them to build strengths in certain areas. These roles, much like positions in a kitchen brigade, give a ton of clarity, prevent overlap, allow people to specialize in something, and ultimately capitalize on people's unique skills. A task-based approach aligns more with how real businesses, real teams, how they actually operate. You're not leaving people to guess what's expected of them. You're setting them up to succeed by giving them clear ownership over specific tasks. ERG leaders being volunteers, that is actually such a huge time saver. That's exactly what Carmi's trying to do here with his brigade. Creating structure that actually supports the team, amplifies their skill sets, instead of giving them this vague overall cook food task. But of course, even the most logical systems have some resistance. Enter Tina, our rebellious ERG leader again. She's skeptical, uncooperative, and even sabotages Sydney by turning up her burner on the stove that she was cooking on secretly. There are a lot of ERG programs that have a Tina, a leader who's hesitant to change and who is fiercely protective of the things that already exist. Here's the thing, Tina's resistance isn't all that malicious. I mean, it is, obviously, in part, but it's rooted, believe it or not, in a good place. She's worried that this new structure will add work and also make her do things in a way that's not natural to her. So even then, it's gonna cause some frustration, is what she's likely believing. For ERG program managers, again, I'm telling you all, the best thing to do right here is to lean in with empathy. Acknowledge the concerns of your hesitant ERG leaders and involve them in the process when it comes to refining the program. Help them understand why things are for the better, and even show them how easy it can be. Sydney's role as the sous chef or the ERG program manager is to make sure that this system works. But here's the problem. She's nervous, very unsure of herself. Instead of leading with confidence, she leads with frustration. She snaps at the team. She has a short temper, and eventually she even starts to make some mistakes of her own. This is also pretty common for ERG program managers. With Sydney being the sous chef or our ERG program manager, her job is to make this new system work. That is the task that Carmi gives her, but he gives it with very little direction. He almost gives her a task and completely abandons her to do it all on her own. For ERG program managers, when you don't feel supported in your role, sometimes the pressure can get to you. That's why communication is so important. Towards the end of the episode, Sydney and Carmi have that critical conversation. She tells him that he's been allowing the team to act out and holding her to this high standard of trying to put them in line while excusing their efforts. And even though she had some concerns about the brigade, he didn't listen to them. Carmi admits she's right. And this is a crucial moment that A lot of ERG program managers need to align with their manager, the one who might have some rigid expectations of how the ERG program should go. Having this transparent, honest conversation up front will help to avoid a lot of heartache and that mini crash out that Sydney had in the episode. So here's a recap for you. 1. Make sure that your roles and your structure are task-based. Thing 2, again, resistance is going to come. And I reiterate this in almost every single video because it is so true. And sometimes that resistance can make people nervous, and sometimes I've seen them abandon doing better by their ERG program overall just because they don't want that resistance. And thing 3, have a transparent conversation up front with your manager or your manager's manager to align with the expectations for the program, the timeline, and understanding that if they're giving you the responsibility of carrying something out, that they should allow your opinion to weigh in on the way that it's going to be played out. That's episode 3 for you. Stay tuned for episode 4 where there might be a change. Maybe the resistance begins to turn the corner. Catch you on the next one.